Welcome to the Hyperbeat Podcast. Each episode, we chat with fitness professionals to get the story behind the business they created.
All right, guys, welcome back. Episode 19 of the Hyperbeat Podcast. I'm your host, Nick Tate. On this edition of the pod, we'll be chatting with Sean, owner, founder of Sub30 Core. We chat through what it takes to develop an original workout program, how to get cut through in a crowded marketplace, and the importance of building relationships outside your area of expertise. My first question to Sean, when did you start your fitness career?
Yeah, I've been in the fitness industry now for about 11 years. I came to Australia back in 1996. So you can probably tell by my accent. I'm not originally from here. I come from Ireland. So we came here in 1996, and I was in corporate finance for many years. And fitness was always something that, like most trainers, something you always wanted to get into. Grew up in Ireland playing a lot of football, and was just as a kid just absolutely fitness mad. And again, probably like a lot of trainers, it took one of those life-changing moments for me to get involved. Yeah, I remember having to go back to Ireland about 12 years ago because my mum passed away, and I remember coming back on the airplane thinking, you know what, sod it, just do it. You know, life's just too short,
Yeah, it is
just
too
not to enjoy it. So, so going back over 10 years ago, once I became a fully qualified trainer, I set up my first business, which I've still got today. It's an outdoor boot camp called Rebel Fitness, and yeah, we just celebrated our 10th birthday not so long ago.
Wow, congratulations!
So it's actually, yeah, thank you. It's something I'm really proud of because outdoor fitness is tough, and the last 10 years in it is actually quite good. So, over the years, I've been one of these trainers that just can't sit still. I just wasn't happy having the fitness business. I wrote a couple of ebooks. I set up a few other fitness businesses on the side. I've got one called The Body Revolution Online, and that's doing extremely well at the moment. So yeah, going back a few years ago, I then set up another business called Sub30 Core, and it's been an interesting 10, 11 years, I can tell you, but it's been probably the best 10 or 11 years I could ever have wished for.
So as a basic overview for everyone before we get right into the details of it, Sub30 Core, what's its purpose?
I describe it as a program. That's probably the best way to describe it, because technically it's broken into two different elements. And the first element of Sub30 Core is the MP3 workouts that are designed for fitness trainers to use with their clients. Now, these workouts target every single element of the core. We're talking, your 2 sets of abdominals, your 2 sets of obliques, all the back muscles that make up the core, your glutes, your hip flexors get targeted. They're 20-minute workouts, and they're plug and play as well. So you basically download the MP3 onto your phone, and wherever you go, the workout goes as well. So they've been designed for PTs, indoor, outdoor trainers. They've been designed for gym owners, studio owners, boot camp owners, that type of stuff. And probably the best part is you can do them face-to-face, or you can do them online as well. All voice commands, they've all got their own timings, and they've got really upbeat music as well. So that's the first part of it. And the second part is we've also designed a certified Sub30 Core course, and that's been approved by Fitness Australia. That comes with 9 CSEs, and it's probably about 8 to 10 hours worth of content on the course, all online, all self-paced. We cover topics such as the anatomy of the core, the movement of the core, breathing, bracing, pelvic positioning, core activation, injury prevention. And I've been really, really lucky with the course that I managed to get a lot of what I call heavy hitters involved. People like Dr. Stuart McGill, Nadia Norman, Samuel Webster, all these people have contributed to in the way of interviews to talk about the core region as well. So the course also comes with 4 free workouts, and it has been just an absolute hit. So that's probably the best way to describe Sub30 Core, a program that has 2 different elements to it.
Okay, so I think the hardest thing is obviously getting in front of PTs and gym owners in what is essentially quite a crowded industry. How have you gone about building those relationships?
Well, I've been lucky. I've been really, really lucky. I say lucky. I was also pretty smart as well. I've managed to partner myself with people in the fitness industry who have got a good standing, a good following as well. And in regards to the course, I teamed up with Fitness Education Online here in Australia. Like most of your listeners will probably know, John and Travis, they run the biggest online fitness education facility business in Australia, and so I was smart enough to partner with them. I partnered with other people who are very big overseas as well. Just last week we launched in the United Arab Emirates.
Oh, wow.
And partnered up with Grant Goes over there, Jerican Tan in Malaysia, where we also launched last weekend. So I think the key to it is just to partner yourself with the right people, and especially in my industry.
I think I've said it many times on the podcast before, but word of mouth and relationships within the fitness industry is just about everything.
100%. And we launched the product back in February, and we are already up to 1,900 trainers worldwide who are using Sub30 Core. It's been incredible growth. So it has, and a lot of it, even though I've partnered well, but a lot of it has come from fitness trainers who are subscribed or have bought the course, use it themselves on their socials to promote Sub30. And that has been by far the best form of advertising for me. When you've got a fitness trainer who, as I term, has become a raving fan, putting it on their timetable, putting it on their socials, and then other trainers hear about it, that has been a massive contribution towards my growth in the last 6, 7, 8 months, without a shadow of a doubt. So you're 100% correct. There's nothing like word of mouth.
Okay, so obviously the world is a very different place to what it was in February. How's COVID impacted you? Has the landscape changed at all?
Oh man, I must admit, it's helped me. It's helped me, and that's been it's helped me incredibly well. And the reason why, when as I said, we launched this back in February, and that was when, things started to go a little bit crazy. Things were starting to happen with COVID. And when we released this, I made, again, another very good decision where I was letting trainers use this product online. So when a lot of trainers were having to hit Zoom to do online training sessions, a lot of other players within my market decided, no, you cannot. This is only a live workout. It has to be done face-to-face. I made the decision where fitness trainers could use this on Zoom live. I mean, it was, and to me, it really didn't make much of a difference. To me, there's not much difference between a trainer doing these workouts face-to-face and a trainer doing these workouts online. You're still able to coach your clients. You're still able to watch them and see their form. And that had a massive impact on my business. It really did. So it helped. So I was lucky in regards to just releasing the product at the right time. And I know it sounds terrible because I know there was a lot of industries suffered during this time, but I was one of the lucky ones.
Yeah, well, it's luck, but it's also being a smart operator. I think the landscape in business changes all the time. Clearly not as dramatically as COVID-19, but I think you need to take advantage of any opportunities that might be out there in the marketplace.
Exactly right. Exactly. There's a silver lining. There always is in business. You just have to be proactive. You can't just sit back and say, you know what, it is what it is. I'll just ride this out. You just need to look for that pot of gold at the rainbow and just and be more proactive than reactive.
Okay, so if someone wanted to do one of the Sub30 Core workouts, what would a workout actually look like?
Oh, good question. Great question. Sub30 Core workouts are a little bit different. Probably just to take a small step back, one of the reasons why I designed these workouts was because I've always been a really big core trainer. Throughout my last 10 years, I've been a massive core trainer. And I think it all stems back from my footballing days. I used to have a football coach who used to say, listen, the stronger you can get your core, the less chance you have of getting injuries. And he was always constantly throwing core workouts at us in training. And it sort of stuck with me when I became a fitness trainer myself. And but I was always sort of doing them ad hoc. I was always throwing a core circuits and exercises in with my boxing sessions at Rebel, at my my strength, my cardio, even my running groups had a big element of core. And I remember going back a few years ago. I've got a doctor who trains with me, and she's been with me for about 3 or 4 months. And she said to me, listen, I'm a GP. She says, I sit down all day. I'm constantly, my posture is terrible. She says, I've had back problems throughout my whole career. She says, but in the last 3 or 4 months of training with you, she says, my back problems have eased. She says, I'm putting that down to all the core work we do.
Okay.
And that was like a light bulb moment for me. I remember going home that night a few years ago thinking, you know what? I should have core as a standalone session on my timetable. It's so important. And that night I went home and I looked through the internet for something to buy, core workouts, anything. There was nothing, absolutely nothing. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to design my own. And I spent the next few weeks putting together these 20-minute core workouts. I bought an app called Seconds. I used that and I threw it on my timetable, and it was an instant success. I found that, yes, this became my busiest session.
Wow.
In my whole timetable. And at the time, I had about 150 people who were training the Rebel, and this became just an absolute hit. So as the weeks and months went on, it got busier and busier, and I thought, you know what? I need to get these workouts designed more professionally, because I was getting 30, 40 people at these sessions. So I spent a wee while looking for a voiceover person. And that took me a while just to find the right voice. I hired an audio technician, purchased the music, and we put the workouts together. And I remember when the very first one came back from the audio technician, and I'm not embarrassed to say it was a real emotional moment. It was like watching your child being born. It was just really. Yeah. I remember listening to it thinking, wow, this is exactly how I wanted to sound and feel. And just to sort of fast forward again a few more months, and business was still going well with these sessions, and it sort of got me thinking, I wonder what it would be like, what this workout would be like with other trainers in the fitness market. So I gave it to a few of trainers who I knew. I think I gave it to 4 or 5 trainers who I knew. And I said, listen, can you test this for us? Here's a workout I designed. Can you test it yourself, give it with your clients, and just let me know what it's like? Within a few weeks, feedback returned, and it was tremendous. They were saying, listen, you have got something here. These are brilliant. But me being me and the way my mind thinks, that wasn't enough. I started to think, are they just saying that because they know me? They don't want to hurt my feelings. And I thought, you know what? The only way I'm going to know for sure if this has got potential in the marketplace is if I give it to trainers who don't know me. So contacted a few people who are well established in the fitness industry. They didn't know me at all. I think I contacted 9 of them. And thank God, 6 of them, out of just the kindness of their heart, trialed it and got back to me. And the feedback, again, they just said, listen, get this on the marketplace because you've got something really, really special here, and there's nothing else like it. So that was really the start of it. And I remember contacting Fitness Australia, and I contacted a few other people just to help get launched. And one of the people were Fitness Education Online, and they said to me, listen, have you thought about doing a course for this? And Fitness Australia had said the same. You should align these workouts with a course. And it was something I hadn't thought about. But I thought, you know what, it sort of makes sense. If a big part of what I'm trying to achieve here is also education, it deserves a course. So the course took me about 6 months to write. And that really was something that I found really, really hard, because I'm not technically a writer. But 6 months later, I got it all finished, and it was probably the best thing I could have done, because it was just tremendous. And so just to go back to your original question, how does it look and feel? That's sort of how the product came about. And how it looks and feels now is just so different, because what you've got now is you've got a fitness trainer who would take this workout, pop it on their phone, and they run it with their clients. And the whole idea is just to focus on an area that most trainers don't focus on, without a shadow of a doubt. And it's something that's always blown me away, because the core is, without doubt, the most important group of muscles that we've got in our body, not just for exercise, but for everyday life. And it's without a shadow of a doubt, the most neglected and the least understood area for most fitness trainers, without a shadow of a doubt. And what I'm trying to do here is just to put the importance back on this area, because the more people that can have less back issues, the more people that can have stronger cores, the better it's going to be for fitness trainers and their business. Less injuries, and you'll be able to have more client retention as well, which is something really, really important, obviously, for most fitness trainers in business. So that's really how a Sub30 Core workout looks like. It's an MP3, it's music-based, it's core-focused, It lasts. The reason why I called it sub 30 is because most of the workouts last under 30 minutes. So there's sub 30-minute workouts. Most last around about 20, 22 minutes. And it is just hitting every element of the core.
So if I can ask, after you'd completed the course and you put it out there into the marketplace, were you holding your breath waiting for orders to come through, or did it take off pretty quickly? Or how did you feel about that whole process?
Using fitness education online was probably the best thing I could have done.
So you had people purchasing straight away?
I had my very first customer was before I even woke up. Deals were coming through, and I remember the third one that come through came from America, from a girl in Texas. And that just blew. So what basically happened was, because the fitness education online boys are based over East, at the time they were like 3 hours ahead or whatever it was. The email went out and people just started buying the course. And we had overnight success, which is incredible. But you're right. I woke up and I said to my wife, holy moly, look at this. Within the first 30 minutes, we had 6-7 courses sold. And the beauty of it now, mate, we have gone on, and as I say, the course has been released 7 months, and it has become the fastest and the quickest online selling course of 2020 in Australia.
Fantastic. Yeah. It's pretty clever in that, you said you spent 6 months getting it together. That's a long time to be working on one thing. Essentially, you've done all that work up front, and now you can spend most of your time promoting it rather than working on it or improving it as you move forward. But the bulk of the work is now complete.
Correct. 100%. And, just last 2 weeks ago, we gave it a bit of what I call an extreme makeover. So there's a few areas that I wasn't happy with that we went in.
And I think that's something that's always going to happen. You're going to be iterating as you move forward.
Exactly. But as I say, now the course, we're now in 5 different countries where their governing bodies have approved the course for CSC points. Canada happened about a month ago, so that's been going really, really well. So it's the weird part is the course was like an afterthought for me. It wasn't something that I'd really, as I said at the start, I hadn't planned on doing, but I got talked into it. And it's been the best move.
So how have you been using social media to help promote this amongst trainers and other industries?
Well, it might come as a big surprise, but from a solo point of view, I've done very, very little. Very little in the way of advertising. A lot of my advertising has been joint advertising. So we've done joint Facebook ads with different partners in different parts of the world as well. So teaming up with affiliates where you split the cost of the ad, which makes a lot of sense as well, because we know promoting ads via YouTube, via Instagram,
starts to add up pretty quickly.
It is, mate. And it's, it's one of those ones where a lot of trainers, a lot of your listeners would know, it's just not a matter of just doing a sponsored ad or having a Facebook post and clicking boost. There's a strategy to it. And me working with these people who specialize in this area has been a massive learning curve for me, hugely, because at the end of the day, I was just a fitness trainer who had this idea of a product, who designed it. But when it came to marketing, when it came to social media, I was pretty uneducated. Actually, I was very uneducated.
Yeah, but at the same time, you're not expected to be a social media marketing guru either. Your expertise is within the world of fitness, and I think you're very clever, and rightfully so. Go out and seek the people that have the skills that you don't have.
After a while, you do become a bit of a jack of all trades because you learn from these people. You see what they do, you talk to them. And, my advice for any of your trainers out there, just become a sponge. Become a sponge for information. When you find someone who is an expert in their field, just try and zap as much as you can from them, because the more that you can learn from these type of people, the better it's going to be for your business.
So have you got plans to expand on Sub30 Core? Would you add other areas of the body?
Oh, good question. You know what? I've been recently, I use the word hounded is probably the best word. I've been hounded by my Sub30 Core subscribers.
Let's do another one.
Not so much do that because Sub30 Core, we release a new workout every month, but I've been hounded in asking if I would do other MP3 workouts, like a HIIT workout, and this type of stuff, and boxing and that. And my focus at the moment is just to get the core MP3 and the course well and truly established. And the goal the future plans for this, and we're still at the embryo stage. We're only 7 months old.
It's very early.
We're still very early on in our we business, and but the idea, the whole goal, not the idea, sorry, the goal, the aim is to try and get it into as many fitness trainers as possible, and education's a big part of that. And I've taken it upon myself to make that a top 3 priority, along with the course, along with the MP3 workouts, just helping educate trainers, and not just trainers, but also fitness enthusiasts on the importance of the core region. And, someone asked me recently about for my best analogy, and I said to him, listen, your core is just like a tree trunk. The tree trunk is the foundation that keeps everything balanced, upright, and stable, and it allows other parts of that tree to flourish and grow and function. And your core is the exact same. It is the exact same analogy. So it is. So, and raving fans, I mentioned raving fans before. That's another part of our future plans, is to try and get as many trainers to help me promote this product as possible, and let them see how good it is, so they can go out and they can tell their clients, and it'll help their business grow, just like it helped my business grow as well. So I think I mentioned before that, to me, the core was the most neglected and the least understood. And, I guess what I'm trying to do with the education side of things is to make it the least neglected and the most understood for fitness trainers, because it is that important.
So you're running multiple brands at the moment. Can I ask, from a personal point of view, how are you able to maintain the amount of work required to keep those all running?
I'm not.
I was going to ask, do you sleep at all?
That is the God's honest truth. That is an area I'm really struggling with.
Yep.
Really, really struggling, because I'm a bit of a control freak. Like most business owners, probably like most trainers, I am a bit of a control freak.
It's hard to let go. Yeah.
It is. You've no idea. Technically, I should be letting go of some of the businesses, but I can't, because they're my babies. I built them, and not just that, but I've also got a responsibility to people who have been who've been with me for many, many years. I've still got people at Rebel who've been with me for 9-10 years.
Yeah, wow.
And you've watched them grow and develop, and a lot of them you've watched the kids grow as well. So it's sort of hard to let go of that. And I must admit, I've had to get help recently from a fellow called Dan Henderson, who is just basically a guru in this industry, just to get his help and advice about I've got 3 plates, how do I just, and Sub30 Core at the moment has become a full-time job. It really has become a full-time job. And I also need to be very wary of the fact that I'm married, I've got 3 kids,
family,
and they're growing. Exactly. And it's very easy to get just to put all your attention, all your eggs in all these baskets of your business. But you have to also remember that you've got a family, you've got a life. And, for me to be the best possible trainer, for me to be the best possible business person, I need to make sure that my other side, my family life, is going well as well, because that's huge.
Yeah,
that
definitely.
is from a mental point of view, you have to learn to switch off.
I think you said you've got 3 plates. I think you've actually got 4, because the family is that 4th plate as well that needs to be filled too. So yeah. So what are you doing to control all of that?
I'm having to get help from people who
bringing people in.
Exactly right.
Yep.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm still doing my fitness business by myself, but when it comes to Sub30, I've got a fantastic marketing design person now who's helping me with that. I've got other fitness trainers who are helping me. So I've learned to go out and ask for help. And it's been another thing that I've done that was tough at the start, but I'm so glad I've done it. So, and that's okay. Don't be afraid to ask for that help to get out there, especially because at the end of the day, if you don't, your business is going to suffer.
Yeah, correct.
Because there's only so many hours that you can put into it. There's only so much time before you just end up just having what I call that mental blank, that trainer's blank, where your mind is just a mess, an absolute mess. So I must admit, the last probably 3 to 4 weeks, it has been so good, because now I'm having to give parts of my business off to someone else just to complete. They get it back to me, and it's been a godsend. It really has.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, you want to be the one approving and giving feedback on components of your business rather than actually doing the grunt work.
Exactly. 100%. Nick, 100%.
All right. So, mate, if any of the trainers listening want to get in touch with you, what would be the best way to do that?
I mean, the best way is probably via our socials. Our website on there is sub30fitness.com. So it's not Sub30 Core. I call it sub30fitness.com. Now, if anyone would like to try what's a Sub30 workout, we've got a free one on there. It's called Courage.
Oh, great.
I probably should take a step back. We've got about 17 different workouts within the library, and they've all got their own unique branding and name. The one we're giving away for free for trainers to try is called Courage, and it is one of our top 3 workouts. So you can go on there, you can download it, transfer it across to your mobile device, and you'll be able to test it yourself and even test it on your clients. But apart from that, yeah, like everyone else, on Facebook, I'm reasonably good on Facebook. Which is Sub30 Core. Sub30 Core on Instagram. I'm not so good at Instagram, being a bit of an older fella. It's taken me a little bit of time to get used to Instagram and the potential of it, but I'm coming around to that as well.
You gonna jump over to TikTok anytime soon?
Oh, Jesus, no. Definitely not. 100% no. And if anyone would like to purchase the course, what we've got at the moment, the Fitness Education Online boys have got an offer at the moment where it's $100 off the course.
Oh, great.
So normally it's $349. They've got it for $249. But if you enter the code Sean SEAN 100, you'll get $100 off it. So if you go to the website, just go into the course section, click on there, and you're able to get it. And it's been good. It's been like, every time I talk about Sub30, it sounds. Hopefully you can hear it in my voice, but it just puts a massive smile. Yeah. It does. It puts a massive smile on my face because, as I said just a few minutes ago, I'm just a normal everyday fitness trainer who had this idea, and I hope it even inspires people. If you're a trainer and if you do have an idea out there, run with it, because you just don't know the potential. And in the last 7-8 months, I've now got 1,900 trainers who are using Sub30 Core, and it's just getting bigger and bigger. So my advice to any trainers out there, if you do have an idea, run with it. And listen, if they ever need any help or advice, contact me, because I'm more than happy to pass on anything I've learned to any fitness trainers out there.
Well, Sean, congratulations on your success so far. Obviously, the hard work is paying off, and it's really, really pleasing to see. So well done, and I really hope it continues to go gangbusters over the coming months.
Thank you very much, and I really appreciate the opportunity as well, just to jump on your podcast and speak.
No, thank you. Thanks for getting in touch. Much appreciated. If you'd like to be involved in an episode of the Hyperbeat Podcast, send an email to info@hyperbeat.com.au or contact us through our social media channel.